London Olympics. We are going to take a quick break. We're going to let you enjoy a bit of this steel pan. And when we come back, I would have with me Dr. Francis Severin. He's the Global Campus Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal. So we'll hear from him right after this musical interlude. And welcome back. We are still here at the Governor General's residence for that special reception honoring Kirani James. And prior to the short musical interlude, I told you that we would have with us Dr. Francis Severin. He is the Global Campus and Pro Vice Chancellor, let me correct myself, and also the Principal. And we are going to speak a bit to this, the doctorate that was conferred on our sporting icon, Kirani James. Can you first, Dr. Severin, speak to us about the significance of the honorary degree by explaining the whole process in terms of how you come about doing it and you know, conferring same on him?
Yes. Well, a very pleasant good evening to everyone here looking at us on TV, online, and so on. In the global universe, it is a pleasure to be here, and thanks for having me. And well, I mean, the award of an honorary doctorate, and in this particular case, a Doctor of Laws honoris causa, it's a very important event. It's very important, if you will, process in any university. And for a university of the standard of the University of the West Indies, which is ranked by the Times Higher Education as among the 5%, top 5% in the world, you know, that is, we have to make a fuss about it, really.
It's a
big fuss about it. So it's very important. So that's one thing. The recommendations come from alumni and other stakeholders, you know, the university stakeholders. It's, if you will, a sort of a democratic process in that regard. The recommendation could come from the Global Campus site at Marischal House, you know. So any person of that sort of standing makes a recommendation, and it goes to the university registrar, and of course, in turn, it goes through of consideration by the top, if you want to say, top leaders, executive management of the university, and chaired by the Vice Chancellor. So the Pro Vice Chancellors, the principals, and the Vice Chancellor. And we go through a vetting process. Mind you, there's a long list.
Okay, I could imagine.
That goes back several years, and sometimes not everyone gets through. And we always ask that when that recommendation is made, it's confidential, so that no one who is recommended has any expectation, okay, you know, because it can be a bit disappointing if you have heard that you're recommended and turned down. So what I can assure you of is that the process is transparent, it is rigorous, there is debate, there's consideration, and comes from various areas. People who have distinguished themselves in politics, in this case sports, culture, and several medicine, you know, and the arts, entertainment, you know, a wide range. because the university serves its community. And so that process takes place, vetting takes place, selection takes place. There is an agreement among all those in the executive, and we ask the person whether they would accept. And of course, yeah. So let us say it's an academic, rigorous process, so to speak.
Right. So how do you think Dr. Kirani James's achievements, along with the honorary degree from UWI, will inspire current and future students at the university, particularly those interested in pursuing careers in sports?
Yes. The response to that, I think, perhaps Grenadians can speak better to it than myself, because in landing here, I have gotten a sense that Kirani Zeno James is a popular choice.
He's well loved.
Well loved. And I think that in itself, so quite apart from what he has achieved, the fact that the person who has achieved that has a presence and a personality in the society that people embrace, I think that is important. We are very proud in the global campus that we just had our first cohort of graduates from the Global Campus Academy of Sport. Okay, so it is so fitting and appropriate that this is happening in the very same year, and therefore I think young people looking on in the audience can identify with Kirani James, identify with his beginnings, humble beginnings, and his trajectory to fame, first Grenadian medalist, Olympic medalist, and so on. And that in itself tells the young man, not necessarily from a high socioeconomic status, that I can do this too. And what we say in Dominica, you probably say it here too, in local vernacular. When I grow up, I want to be like him.
Like you.
And I can imagine a lot of young males and females as well saying that. So I think it also gives those practitioners, those professionals with BSc in various sporting disciplines and so on, it makes them feel that it is worth it, since they can hone those kinds of talents in a disciplined environment, in a disciplined institution, and bring them to that point. So I think all around it's a big thing.
Okay, so with Kirani James receiving the honorary doctorate, how does this contribution to UWI's legacy reinforce the university's role in recognizing and nurturing regional talent, both in academia and athletics?
Yes, well, our Vice Chancellor, Sir Hilary Beckles, always says that the raison d'etre of a university is its community.
Okay.
We exist for the good of our community. And I think the conferral of the Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, on Kirani James, I think we're sort of crowning that philosophy that yes, in fact, we are existing for our community. We are conscious of what's happening in our community. We are conscious of that achievement and that commitment, that resilience, that strength, that courage he has shown throughout, and therefore we are rewarding, not unlike how Grenada has rewarded Kirani James with the command of the Order of the British Empire and Order of Grenada, in return for that patriotism, that putting country before self. And that is what the university is doing in its own way.
And Dr. Severin, before I actually let you off, how exactly should the doctorate, I should say, be used in terms of when you refer to Kirani? Can you explain that so persons have a clear understanding?
Yes. In terms of the straight and narrow, in terms of the understanding of it, it is not a degree that is earned through the academic stream of theses and dissertations and that sort of thing, that rigorous marking and so on. It is an honor, honoris causa, for the honor. I think it's also said ad honorem.
Okay.
But so strictly speaking, if one wanted to be, purist and stick to the rule, then the title is Mr.
Okay.
But we do understand that in our local communities, we are so proud. We are so proud that we refer to the person as doctor. You know, it's not the same thing. Mr. Kirani Zeno James, but one is not going to be discombobulated if his fans refer to him as doctor. And in other fora where there's no legal it's constraint against it, really. So I hope that explains it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Severin. Viewers, this was Dr. Severin, the Global Campus Pure Vice Chancellor and Principal, and he spoke to us about the honors they did in terms of conferring the doctorate, the Doctors of Laws, on our own sporting icon, Kirani James. We take another quick break where you can enjoy some of the steel pan, and when we come back, we'll have our Minister for Sports, the Honorable Delma Thomas, to speak with us. Welcome back, and joining me now, as I mentioned prior to the short musical interlude break, is the Minister for Sports, the Honorable Delma Thomas, as we continue our pre-chat here at this special cocktail reception honoring Kirani James, and as the principal said, as Dr. Severin said, as we're so proud, we can refer to him as Dr. Kirani James. Minister for Sports has to be one of the most joyous, overwhelmed persons down here this evening, knowing that that honor has been conferred to him under your watch, I would like to say, as the Minister for Sports, and all that has happened for him and what he has done for Grenada in terms of recognition, and how the youth, and you're also the Minister for Youth, look up to him as someone who they can emulate. Speak to us about the feeling today, first as the Grenadian and then as your role as Minister for Sports.
So it is really, so let me say good afternoon and Happy New Year to you and all of the listeners and viewers of GIS. And today's celebration for Kirani is really, I mean, there's no word I can use to describe, because it's humbling,
right? And
it's an exciting moment for me as a Grenadian, and also the Minister of Youth and Sports. So I am extremely excited and extremely happy for Kirani. I mean, Kirani is a humble son of the soil. So though he achieved so much, he continued to be humble. And so that's something that every young person across Grenada should look up and try to emulate.
Okay. And as the Minister for Youth and Sport, and following Kirani over the years in terms of his achievements, his challenges, and as you mentioned, he's someone who is very humble, using his humble beginnings and not forgetting where he came from to overcome certain challenges. How does the government, through the Ministry of Sports, plan to leverage that in terms of helping encourage our young persons, our young male and female sports, the athletes and so?
So Kirani is really an ambassador.
Okay.
And so as an ambassador, you are supposed, or you would assist us in terms of getting young people to appreciate what it is to be humble, what it is to come from humble beginning, as most of us come from humble beginning, but being grounded. So Kirani, though he came from humble beginning and was able to be elevated, he continued to be grounded. He continued to understand and appreciate where he came from. And so as the Minister of Youth and Sports, we will be using Kirani and others like him to be our ambassadors. So they will be ambassadors to the country and be able to reach out to our young people, sensitization, education and all that, how to be humble, where did they came from and how you can achieve your fullest potential by just being humble.
Okay. So the whole issue of the whole issue of the Ministry of Sports, and I know that you've been placing a lot of emphasis in terms of development and so forth. What are the plans going forward? Because today it's a momentous occasion. It's one that we are all proud of. We see what can happen, as you mentioned, with determination, and the fact that some people have the tendency they want to achieve, but they don't understand the importance of hard work. From the ministry's perspective, what are some of the plans going forward to ensure that we can have more men and women rise to the top in sports, in the various disciplines?
So the truth is, we are celebrating Kirani today. Mm-hmm. And so if we want to celebrate more like Kirani, Lyndon, Anderson, and our other athletes, it means that we have to start from the grassroots level, from the community level. And that is why recently, I'm sure you've seen that government has approved the sports council at the level of the parish. Mm-hmm. And so the parish will assist us in identifying young athletes at that grassroots level and providing them with that avenue, that training, that particular support, so that we'll have more of Kirani, more of Lyndon, more of the other Afi, and more of the other athletes. And so it's more than just the grassroots level, but also in the schools. So we cannot wait until they reach the secondary school or the tertiary education, and then we realize there is a goal.
Grassroots is important.
So the grassroots, yes, but we want to integrate many of our sporting disciplines at the level of the primary school. So this year we will roll out what will happen in 2024, in the first term, 2025, sorry. In the first term, because the school is on term, so we'll decide what happens. So things like cricket and athletics.
So you would manage how it works.
So we'll manage at the primary level and into the secondary level, and as I said, even our infrastructure, our playing fields, and so we'll be enhancing playing fields across Grenada, making sure that our young people have access to those playing fields and providing them with the necessary support, so that we can have more athletes, more cricketers, like Afi, I think yesterday we had Junior Murray launching his book. So we want to have more of these national icons in our country.
Thank you very much, viewers. That was our Minister for Sport, the Honorable Delma Thomas. And as I mentioned before, we're coming to you live from the Governor General's residence in Point Celine, as there is a special cocktail reception for our own sporting icon, Kirani James. Right now, I'm going to hand you over to the Master of Ceremonies. They're going to have a very special ceremony, after which we would try our best to have a quick chat with Kirani before we end this evening's broadcast. So once again, we thank you so much for joining us. Right now, we want to hand you over to the Master of Ceremony for the official part of this special cocktail reception happening under the distinguished patronage of Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagrenade. I know I mentioned to you prior to that beautiful musical interlude that we'll be going over to the official part. But however, we do have the president of the Grenada Olympic Committee with us, Mr. Bernard Wilson. Most of you who've seen him on the screen now you would remember Bunny Wilson, that great boxer. Well, he's here with us, and he's here to give us his sentiments on Dr. Kirani James.
Well, I am very proud of the fact that the UE campus saw it fit to bestow upon Kirani. I just saw Junior over there. I was speaking with him. To bestow upon Kirani the Doctorate of Laws degree. It's good that the university has recognized his work and the importance of what he has done, the significance of what he has done. Because he has done a lot for the region, not just Grenada. To come from these parts and have a world record in that he has the gold, silver, and the bronze in 3 consecutive Olympics in the 400 meters. That's quite a feat in itself, and all that goes with it. And he is, exactly what a sportsman should be, really. When you look at his deportment on the field, off the field, the way he greets his fellow competitors and things like that, very humble and still very powerful. So I'm very pleased that the global campus of the University of the West Indies has seen it fit
to confer such honors,
to recognize him and honor him in this way.
Okay. Which begs my next question to you. So with all that has happened and all the achievement and seeing where our athletes can go, as the president of the Grenada Olympic Committee, what's the plan now in terms of support and ensuring that our athletes can really reach and participate so that they can reach to the full potential? Seeing what can happen. We've seen what has happened with Kirani, who is celebrating today, Anderson, Lyndon, and all the others.
Well, we have had a significant hand, in all of these athletes reaching where they are today, and we continue to support significantly. A lot of the support is financial. A lot of these athletes are on various scholarships, on various programs that we have.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, we start with the grassroots programs, and then you have the intermediary programs, and then you have the elite programs that we support coaching. We support some of them financially for universities and things like that. And so what we depend on is the various sporting federations to identify
the
talent, and we support in as many ways as possible. And so all that you have seen so far is somewhat testament to our continued support for our athletes, because that basically is our primary objective, you know. Yes, the Olympics is all about fair sport, fair play, sport for all, inclusive, women in sport, and various aspects of sport. But one of our primary or main objectives is to provide quality athletes to perform at the Olympics.
And my final question to you before we wrap, because it seems as if they're actually ready for the official part of the ceremony, is what does this mean for the ordinary youth in Grenada? Kirani's achievement to date.
Well, everything that Kirani does means a lot to the ordinary youth of Grenada, because he's a mentor. He's an example of what's possible. And he's the kind of person that you can actually look up to. And I'm not saying because he's over 6 feet tall. You know, he is someone that is a shining example of what's possible.
Okay.
And you don't have to start with a whole lot to end up being there. It's just the dedication, the hard work, the application, some talent too, of course, and skill, but
and support.
A lot, and well, the support. Yeah, but a lot is possible. A lot is possible. And we have a lot of talented people. We have the body structure. We have the good food. We have a lot of things, a lot of assets that we can use so that a lot of our athletes can get there. We might not all reach the top of the mountain, but we can surely climb.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, viewers. That was the president of the Grenada Olympic Committee, Mr. Bernard Wilson. As I said, we call him Bunny Wilson, and he shared his view on the achievements of Kirani James to date. And I'd like to say Dr. Kirani James, because I was told by the principal that in this setting, we can't refer to him because of how proud we are. Yes. We can't refer to him as Dr. Kirani James. So once again, viewers, I would let you enjoy some of the musical interlude, which will be followed by the official ceremony.
ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dame Cecile Aguinard, our Governor General. You may be seated. Your Excellency, Dame Cecile Aguinard, Governor General of Grenada, Honorable Andy Williams, Acting Prime Minister, Honorable Decima Williams, President of the Senate, Honorable Leo Cato, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the Judiciary, Dr. Francis Severin, Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University of the West Indies Global Campus, Dr. Kirani James, CBE, LLD, Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Nicole Phillip, Acting Deputy Director of the University of the West Indies Global Campus Sites, Mrs. Keisha Commission Branch, Head of Acting of the University of the West Indies Global Campus, Father Marcin Rumnik, Parish Priest of the Blessed Sacrament of the Roman Catholic Church, Mr. Wilvan Granger, Chief Experience Officer, Grenada Cooperative Bank, Branch Head. Other premier sponsors, members of Dr. Kirani James's family and guests, members of the Grenada Athletic Association and Olympic Committee, global campus staff, graduates and alumni, members of the Royal Grenada Police Force, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, a hearty welcome to you all here today to this celebration honoring Mr. Kirani James, no, Dr. Kirani James, as conferred upon him by the University of the West Indies Global Campus. I am Bernard Wilson, your Master of Ceremonies, and I thank folks of the UE, University of the West Indies Global Campus, and Dame Cecile for inviting me to be your Master of Ceremonies. We have quite an evening planned for you, but before we go any further, I would like to ask everyone here who has a cell phone, to please take it out of your pockets or your purses. Please, everyone who has a cell phone. No, I want you to take it out. And what I would like us to do is to take a little walk to the pool. And just rest it at the bottom of the pool. Until we're finished. I see we don't have very many obedient people here. Well, in that case, just turn it off or put it on silent for me, please. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I'd like us to stand for the national anthem. Oh, no, sorry, my apology. Father, your little piece is smaller on the top. My apology. I'd like to invite Father Marcin Rumnik to do the invocation. Father Marcin.
Can I ask you to stand up, please? In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, we gather in your holy presence, acknowledging you as the source of all goodness and blessings. Our hearts are filled with gratitude and joy as we celebrate the life and achievements of your servant, Mr. Kirani James. You have blessed Grenada with his extraordinary talent, resilience, and grace. Through him, we have witnessed the power of determination, humility, discipline, and faith. We thank you for his many accomplishments, not only as an athlete, but also as a role model and symbol of unity for our nation. Through his dedication and grace, he has lifted the spirits of our people, carried the Grenadian flag with honor, and inspired generations to dream boldly and strive for excellence. He has reminded us of the dignity of hard work and the importance of faith. We are grateful for the University of the West Indies, which has recognized Mr. James' remarkable contributions with this honorary doctorate. This honor not only acknowledges his achievements, but also serves as a reminder to our young people that with hard work, humility, and faith, there are no limits to what they can achieve. Grant them the strength to embrace this truth, O Lord. As we gather under the gracious patronage of Her Excellency the Governor General, we ask for your blessings upon her and all who serve our nation. May their leadership always reflect your wisdom and your will for the good of our people. Lord, we pray that this occasion be more than a moment of recognition. Let it be a call to action for our nation. May Mr. James' story remind us that each of us has a role to play in building a brighter future for Grenada, a future that always reflects your glory. We ask this through Jesus Christ, your Son, and through the intercession of Mary, his and our Mother. Amen.
Thank you, Father. For those of you who do not know, I'm 5 feet 8.5 inches tall. And so Father is just a whole lot taller than I am, so I'm not short. Thank you, Father Rumick, for inviting the presence of the Lord. It's the thing we should do, first and foremost, in anything that we do. Thanks again. Now let's remain standing for the national anthem, which will be done by Miss Alicia Lett. Oh. You don't have a special mic for me. Now, Miss Lett is University of the West Indies alumni. Thanks, Miss Lett, for a wonderful rendition of the national anthem. I tried singing with you in my mind, and I burst about twice. I couldn't reach as high as you, not even in my mind. Fantastic. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to invite Dr. Nicole Phillip, Deputy Director, Acting for the University Global Campus Sites, to do the welcome remarks. Dr. Nicole? Oh, my apologies. Please be seated, ladies and gentlemen.
Your Excellency, Dame Cecilia Grenard, Governor General of Grenada, Honorable Annie Williams, Acting Prime Minister, Honorable Decima Williams, President of the Senate, Members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the Judiciary, Dr. Francis Severin, Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University of the West Indies Global Campus, Dr. Kirani James, Father Marcin Rumik, Mr. Granger from Grenada Cooperative Bank, members of Kirani's family, members of the Grenada Athletic Association, staff, students, graduates, alumni of the University of the West Indies, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is indeed an honor and a pleasure to welcome you to this evening's proceedings. The conferral of the Honorary Doctor of Laws degree to Kirani by the University of the West Indies Global Campus is a means of honoring Kirani for his exceptional accomplishment in the field of athletics. This is our way of expressing our respect for and gratitude to him for representing Grenada and indeed the Caribbean region on the international stage. Kirani, thank you for your exceptional talent, for your humility, for your resilience, and most importantly, for being an exceptional role model to our youth. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our cocktail celebration for our very own Dr. Kirani Zeno James. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Phillip. Now it's my pleasure to invite Dr. Francis Severin, Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal of the Global Campus, UWI, to make some remarks. Dr. Severin?
Thank you, Chair. Good evening to everyone. I will not repeat the salutation protocol list, but I beg leave to recognize Her Excellency, Dame Cecile La Grenade, Governor General of Grenada. I also wish to recognize the various persons on our program, our Honorable Prime Minister Acting, Honorable Andy Williams, and members of the Cabinet, Kirani Zeno James. I almost said our own Kirani, but I think Kirani is the Eastern Caribbean bloc, and of course the Caribbean and the world. So I am within my right and legitimacy to say so. I wish to recognize the Deputy Director acting of the Global Campus Country Sites, our acting head of site, Mrs. Keisha Commission Branch, and of course, Father Marcin Rumik. And when I sort of, share my thoughts and reflections with you, I want to make it clear, politically clear, that Father Rumik and myself did not consult before, because some of the things that he said about Dr. James, I ruminated on those myself. And of course, I do want to express my commendation to our alumna, Mrs. Alicia Lett. The national anthem of Grenada is beautiful, but if you allow me, Grenadians, I am sure Miss Lett added her value to it, and I say that and hope that I have offended anyone, offended no one. So this is it. Now, I want to thank Her Excellency Dame Cecile Le Grenade. Oh, I should have recognized also Mr. Granger of the Grenada Cooperative Bank. And of course, our sponsors. It's always difficult trying to abridge the protocol list because you always have the anxiety of leaving out anyone. But, Your Excellency, Dame Cecile Le Grenade, I really wish to thank you for graciously hosting this evening's event. As I said to the GIS, and I want to thank the GIS and UWITV, we're one of the few universities, if not the only, with a television station, which everyone looks at, I am sure. You all know about it. I said that we have to make a big fuss about this. We have to make a big fuss about this. We have to celebrate our own. I want to thank our acting Deputy Director, Global Campus Sites, Dr. Nicole Phillip, and our acting head, Mrs. Keisha Commission Branch, and her wonderful staff at the Global Campus site, Marisha House, for the planning. And of course, I want to thank Dr. Kirani James for accepting the UWI's invitation and, of course, conferral upon him of the Doctor of Laws honoris causa. And our sponsors for making this splendid event. As soon as I entered here tonight, I felt the splendor and the elegance, the sensibility was real. And I want to thank all of you for coming to celebrate. This is a sample of those who would celebrate. We can't accommodate everyone, but I'm sure Grenadians are there and the Caribbean looking in because it's on UWITV and GIS. Now, Dr. Kirani James, my dear friends, I must tell you, he joins a long and elite list of eminent Caribbean and world champions who have distinguished themselves in a broad variety of areas. So that could be sports, in this case, health, medicine, culture, entertainment, business, jurisprudence, government, religion, and the whole gamut. As I explained to GIS, it is a rigorous process, and Dr. Kirani James has emerged, and deservedly so. And when you sort of reflect on some of those, can't list everyone tonight, but, people like Monsignor Honorable Dr. Patrick Anthony, Sir Kennedy Simmons, Sir W. Tapley Seaton, Dame Janice Pereira, Mrs. Edridge Danticart, Sir Brian Allen, Olwyn Bully, Dame Paulette Louisi, Dr. Lennox Honeychurch, just the Global Campus itself, and a whole lot of others, we begin to get a sensibility of where Kirani James is at in his field. Dr. Kirani James epitomizes to me and exemplifies, and I listened with much pride to our public orator at that graduation ceremony. I think it was November 9th, 2024, Mrs. Leslie Michel, and as she spoke about it, I asked her for a copy so that I could read this again. And he exemplifies resilience, courage, and strength. And how does one illustrate this? He comes from the community of gun battle. Some may say, what's in a name? But the metaphor, the allegory for me is the speed of a bullet, gun battle, to becoming Olympic champion and to fame. One of the fastest 400 meters runners to hit or to grace track. And of course, another thing about a name, he had once belonged to the local club that was called Speed Zone. So there was some premonition, some prophecy in that regard. The first ever Olympic medalist from Grenada. That's a big deal, And for Kirani, destination should never be determined or constrained or hindered by origin. So it is not where you've come from, but your trajectory and where you're going to. And indeed, the legacy that you leave after you've passed the scene. Kirani, and in what I have read, is not driven by self-interest. He prioritizes and privileges country and family upliftment before himself. And it is little wonder that he is such a popular choice in Grenada. Very popular. His fans love him. In fact, we're all his fans. He viewed athletics as an opportunity to advance family and self. And when he saw, it's almost biblical, the creation, and God was creating, and Father, this is, not heretics, and he saw that it was good. So he saw that athletics, he said, but wait, this thing could really do something. But it wasn't Kirani himself. It could uplift my family and my country. And his country, of course, deservedly so in return, rewarded him with the Commander of Order of the British Empire and the Order of Grenada, as a reciprocation. Dr. James, he exemplifies and demonstrates gratitude, always speaks about the role of others in terms of his development and his trajectory. Coaches, his elder brother, his fellow athletes, his mother of blessed memory. And Father, you said that he embodies humility. He does not believe that one must win at all costs. And in fact, if you reflect, if you ruminate on the problems that we have in this world, it is the fact that people feel they must win at all costs. And some people will throw others under the bus. They will lie. They will bear false witness, to use a biblical term, just for 5 minutes of fame. But this is not the example that we're getting from Dr. Kirani James. Winning must not be at all costs. He remains grounded. He remains sensible. He remains unpretentious. And he asserts that it's better to learn from the errors of others than to make those errors himself. So he does not take success for granted. And another issue that we have, and it happens throughout, young, old, and others, and causes problems, is when people feel entitled. This is not a characteristic or attribute of this young man before us. In his view, it is diligence, industry, persistence, discipline, self-sacrifice that will bring about some success. And therefore, this august body before me, in the light of all of this, his values and ideals align very cozily and snugly with the University of the West Indies and the global campus in particular, in terms of our philosophy of leaving nobody behind and continuous development. So it is a privilege to welcome Dr. Kirani Zeno James in the UWI family of honorary graduates. It is, I feel, very flattered with my relative lack of achievement in terms of, having him as my fellow alumni. I do feel good about it. I'm sure Dr. Nicole Philip Dow and the other alumni who have met this afternoon, our guild president is here, feel very good about it. This award, therefore, of the Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, underscores our commitment to the Sustainable Development Goal number 3, which speaks to good health and wellness, and Sustainable Development Goal number 4, quality education. I have to tell you that throughout the day, and I'm going to age myself a bit in winding up, in wrapping up. I don't know whether, and many of you are very young, but I don't know. I'm quite young myself, believe it or not. But Casimir Pitt, this song, Grenada, May God Bless You. In this lovely paradise, you can watch the sun arise, any evening, any day. You can watch the sunset play. You can enjoy yourself forever. And it goes on. I'm not a singer, but I just took a chance. I'm braver than the chair. Who asked us earlier to discard our phones? If you have one, I have 2, so I didn't discard. Because, But this has been playing in my mind. And some days you cannot get a song out of your mind. It's a song we grew up on. I always loved to hear the song. And he went on to call the various Caribbean countries. That was what you call unity, And I want to end by saying to you, Grenada, may God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Severin, and I don't think I said so before, but on behalf of the Grenada Olympic Committee, we wish to thank you very much for conferring the Honorary Doctorate of Laws on our brother, our friend, our mentor, Mr. Kirani Zeno James. Well, I'll say doctor eventually. But I also believe that his mother had a whole lot in mind for him when she gave him those names. Zeno James, Dr. Kirani Zeno James. It has a sound of speed and power behind it. Now, I called Kirani a couple of days ago and I said, Kirani, is there anything funny you could give me to say about you? Something, to create a little amusement. And Kirani said, boy, I can't think of anything. He said, in all my life, I really can't think of anything funny that you could. But that is partly because Kirani was always very serious, very focused. Sometimes I think, and forgive me for saying so, too focused, if there's such a word. Right? Like, I always thought that I like to see the guys when they win, do a double somersault, clap a few times. You know what I mean? But not Kirani. Not Kirani. And so I will just give you a very short story of what I was going to say about him, but it's not really about him. I went to a sporting event in Tantine a few years ago. And it was, I think it was preschool kids sporting event. And they were running a relay. The boys were running a relay. And the chap on the first leg ran rather quickly. He brought in the baton first to the second chap. And the second chap turned to take the baton from him, took the baton and started running back to the beginning rather than running on. And they had to catch him and turn him around to go to the third leg. And he ran fast enough to still assist the team in coming third. And I did not catch the guy's name to be able to track him to see what he's doing today. But I'm sure after seeing you, Kirani, and all that you have done, this little chap must be doing well. And if the little chap remembers what he did, I would like him to give me a call. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what more can I say after Dr. Severin? What more can I say? It is my extreme pleasure to invite Dr. Kirani Zeno James, honorary recipient of the Doctor of Laws degree from the University of the West Indies. Kirani is also a world, global sporting icon, a master, a grandmaster of his trade, the pride and joy of Grenada. Kirani exemplifies everything of a human being of a very high stature. Kirani, I now invite you to make a few remarks. Dr. Kirani James.
Okay. Your Excellency, Dame Cecile Lagrenade, Governor General of Grenada, Honorable Andy Williams, Acting Prime Minister, Honorable Decima Williams, President of the Senate, Honorable Leo Cato, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the Judiciary, Dr. Francis Severin, Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal of the UE Global Campus, Cabinet Secretaries, Dr. Nicole Phillip, Deputy Director of the UE Global Campus Sites, Mrs. Keisha Commijan Branch, Head Acting of the UE Global Campus here in Grenada, Father Marcin Rumek, Parish Priest of the Blessed Sacrament Roman Catholic Church, Mr. Wilvon Granger, Chief Experience Officer, Grenada Cooperative Bank, other premier sponsors, my family, well-wishers, members of the Grenada Athletic Association, Olympic Committee, Global Campus staff, graduates and alumni, members of the Royal Grenada Police Force, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good evening to all. Firstly, I just want to say thank you to everyone for being a part of this event. I am truly humbled and privileged to be here to celebrate this honor with everyone here. When I set out in athletics, as Dr. Severin mentioned, the main goals was to just try to be the best I can be and to try to uplift, myself and my family. And I don't even think I've ever told anybody this, but I remember that moment where, it was a nighttime and I sat on my own and I prayed to God. I just asked God for an opportunity. That's all I asked for. So that's why I've never, ever take my situation for granted, or everything that I do. I know that it's more than me, that I'm just a small part of a bigger picture here that's at play, which ultimately at the end of the day is to honor God and for us to be the best that we can be as a community, as a country, as a people. And then understanding that as I went further, I realized that, like I said, it's a lot more than me, right? It was about morphing into something more than myself, which is representing my country, my village, my family, being an inspiration to other aspiring athletes. And I've always taken that seriously, that responsibility seriously, and understand the magnitude of what I'm doing. They've always asked me the question, which Olympics is my favorite Olympics, right? But they've hardly ever asked me what was my favorite moment from any Olympics. And that's seeing this flag go up and hearing the anthem. And that's when I truly understood what it means to be of service for your country. And we all have our part to play to be of service of Grenada and to each other. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. If we could try to uplift each other, we'd all be better off. So, like I said, I've never imagined, being in this position, accepting an honorary doctorate. I've always viewed my part of representing my country and being on the track and doing what I can do from that standpoint. But to be here on the stage, especially being in the presence of so many people that have had success and so many people that have so much accomplishment, it truly is an honor. And, I always look at these honors as being bestowed upon me, especially the title of doctor, because we all know how difficult it is to achieve something like that through academia. So for those who have achieved it that way, congratulations, and it's an honor to share the same title with you, because I understand how important it is and what it means to the people that have actually earned it. And so I understand how difficult the journey is, and I always say I've never looked at it as doing everything on my own. I didn't get here on my own. I've had so many people help me, whether it's people in my community, my teachers at school. There was a lot of investment in me, whether that was financially, whether through knowledge, whether spiritually, whether that was in public or in private, directly or indirectly. I know that I'm here because there's a lot of people that have supported me, that have given me a lot. And from a very sincere perspective and standpoint. So as I stand here today, I think it's imperative that we keep investing in young people, because I'm here speaking as a product of somebody that was invested in. And it shows that when you truly, genuinely, and sincerely invest in young people and try to guide them and give them a platform so that they can maximize their potential, this is the result. And there could be many, many more like me, or even better than me coming up. But it takes a collective, and it takes everybody to buy in, and not just think about yourself, but think about how we uplift each other, which in turn will uplift Grenada. So I say all this to say that it has not been an easy road to be where I am here today. And through thick and thin, there are people that have supported me and have guided me and given me advice and mentorship to help me through those tough times too. So I want to thank everyone that has invested in me in any type of way. It truly is a privilege to be up here and an honor. I'm very humbled and appreciative of everything that has happened in my life so far and the guidance that I've continued to get up to this point. So truly, when I look at tonight, like, yes, it's here. Yes, my name is on the program, but I really believe that it's a celebration for everyone in here and not just myself. Whether people are here in this room or you're looking at it online, or some people that are not here with us today. I truly see this as a collective, and I'm here because of a collective investment. And those contributions has had a profound impact on my life, on my family's life, on a lot of people around me. And it's helped me be where I am today and helped me be the person that I am today. So I want to thank everyone for coming out. Thank the UWI Global Campus for this tremendous honor. It truly is an honor. I'm still coming to grips with what it means. At times they say, sometimes you have a little bit of imposter syndrome because, you never really expect these things. When you do your part, you don't expect these things, but it's up to the people outside of you to recognize that and to appreciate it, and I think this is what it is. So that's why it's still a little bit shocking to have these honors bestowed upon me. Like I said, bestowed upon me. And I just want to thank you. Thank Grenada Co-op Bank, who has been with me from the beginning. Even when there was a lot of uncertainty going on with my career, they stuck by my side. They're my only local sponsor. And my family, they know how it's always been. People close to me. It truly is an honor to be here, and I cannot even describe it in words. So I just want to thank everyone for coming out and supporting me, and continue supporting me, and other athletes or other aspiring people in whatever the field is coming up. And thank you guys for being here and allowing me to be able to speak and to be able to accept this honor from the UWI Global Campus. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Kirani, for your remarks. Very, very sincere remarks coming from the heart. I was asked by, or not even asked, I was admonished by Dame Cecile, who said to me, "Watch, don't go there and cry today." But it was very moving indeed. And what more can I say about Kirani? He said it all. Thank you. Now it's my pleasure to invite the Honorable Andy Williams, Acting Prime Minister, to make some remarks.
Good night to everyone. Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagunad, members of Parliament, cabinet colleagues, Dr. Kirani James, let me say it again, Dr. Kirani James, faculty and staff of the University of the West Indies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. The day was August 6, 2012. The lane was lane 5. The Jaguar steps onto the tracks, boldly clad in the colors of Grenada, and the nutmeg seals it off on his chest like an armor. He was one of the favorites for gold, heading to the finals with a personal best of 44.59 seconds, which he set in the semifinals. The 19-year-old flew down the backstretch and emerged from the final bend with a sizable lead. He extended it down onto the home stretch and cruised to victory with a personal best, a national record of 43.94 seconds. For the 3.94 seconds was all the time he needed to become one of the greatest athletes of all time. The moment of personal triumph became a unifying moment for his entire nation. After winning the gold that day, Kirani said, please permit me, and I quote, "I think there are quite a few street parties going on in Grenada. I just go out there and just try to do my best in terms of representing my country in a positive way. As long as I do that, they are going to be proud of me. And as long as they are proud of me, I am happy with that. But just being there, and this being an Olympic gold medal, this is a huge step for our country in terms of stepping up to the plate in track and field. Just going out there and putting us on the map. This evening, we are here for one purpose: to celebrate a remarkable athlete whose journey has inspired millions around the world. A true champion in every sense of the word. An athlete who has exemplified the meaning of we little but we talawa. Born and raised in Gunbattle, St. John, Kirani James has shown us time and time again the power of determination, humility, and resilience. Kirani's journey, however, has not been without challenges. He has faced health battles, including grave disease, which tested not only his body, but also his spirit. What may have been a setback for many became an opportunity for Kirani James to persevere. Kirani demonstrated resilience in the face of challenges. With the heart of a warrior and speed of a jaguar, he returned to the track to remind the world that setbacks do not define us, but how we rise from them is what really does. Beyond his athletic achievements, Kirani has also shown us the importance of sportsmanship. Friends, he congratulated all his competitors at the end of every race. Every act of respect he displayed on the track captured the true essence of what sports should be: a celebration of sportsmanship and mutual respect for each other. Today, we have much more than his gold, silver, and bronze medals to celebrate. We are proud to celebrate the legacy he continues to build. One of excellence, humility, and inspiration. Kirani James had not only elevated Grenada on the global athletic stage, but also inspired young athletes across the world to dream big, work hard, and persevere against all odds. From the fishing village of Guav to the global athletic stages, Kirani has carried the hopes and dreams of Grenada with every stride. His story is a beacon of hope to every Grenadian, demonstrating that with hard work, commitment, perseverance, and belief in oneself, no challenge is too great and anything is possible. The prize to the one who earns it was truly Kirani golden rule. You see, folks, Kirani and I share the same alma mater, Grenada Bay Secondary School. And the third verse in our school song goes like this. In term time or in vacation, in classroom and playing field, uphold alma mater's name. Whatever the place or occasion, remember to play the game. To win and be sporting is easy, but to lose with a smile is hard. And yet, to the sportsman, really, the game is its own reward. On behalf of all Grenadians and the many lives you have touched, Kirani, worldwide, we extend our deepest congratulations on your exemplary success and your recent honorary doctorate from the University of the West Indies. And all of these honors are so richly deserved, and they are true testaments to the incredible human being that you are, both on and off the tracks. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in raising your hearts to the one and only Kirani Zeno James, our Grenadian son and ambassador. Kirani, we thank you for the golden memories, the pride you have reignited within us, and the hope that you have bestowed in all of us. Your journey is a constant reminder that with dedication and hard work, we can overcome any obstacle and achieve greatness. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Andy Williams. I don't know if it's by coincidence, but I'm also from GBSS. And I was in GBSS before any of you, by reason of age. And I'm tempted to sing a little piece of the school song. Huh? I don't want to put Dr. Severin in the shade, but I would just say, at study or recreation, in classroom or playing field, let those of each generation respect to tradition yield. The trees of the fathers and brothers are beacons marking the way, the thought handed on by others we must keep alive today. The prize to the one who earns it, let this be your golden rule. Endeavor enhances merit, the slacker is folly's tool. GBSS boys always up for a good time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to invite the patron of this evening's event, or Governor General, Her Excellency Dame Cecilia Lagunard, make some remarks. Dame Cecilia.
Honorable Andy Williams, Acting Prime Minister, Honorable Decima Williams, President of the Senate, Members of Parliament, Members of the Diplomatic Corps, Members of the Judiciary, Dr. Francis Severin, Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal of the UWI Global Campus, Dr. Kirani James, CBE, LLD, Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Nicole Phillip, Deputy Director, UWI Global Campus Sites, Mrs. Keisha Comijong Branch, Head, Acting, of the UWI Global Campus Grenada, Father Marcin Rumik, Parish Priest of the Blessed Sacrament Roman Catholic Church, Mr. Will Von Granger, Chief Experience Officer of the Grenada Cooperative Bank Branch Head, other premier sponsors, members of Dr. Kirani James's family and his guests, member of the Grenada Athletic Association and the Olympic Committee, global campus staff, graduates and alumni, members of the Royal Grenada Police Force, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. We are gathered here this evening to celebrate a young man who has soared to the highest heights and who is adding yet another prestigious title to his name, Honorary Doctor of Laws from the University of the West Indies, my alma mater. Kirani James, a son of our soil, has truly defined what it means to be a trailblazer, not only for Grenada, but for the entire Caribbean region. When Kirani first rose to prominence as a world-class athlete, it was clear that he was not just competing for medals, but competing for something far greater. He was competing to elevate the spirit of Grenada, to bring our flag to the highest heights on the world stage. His achievements in athletics, culminating in his Olympic gold and world championship titles, have already secured his place in the annals of history. But it is his determination, vision, and deep sense of purpose that continue to inspire us all. Kirani's journey from humble beginnings in Grove to the world's top podium is a testimony to what can be achieved with hard work, perseverance, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. His success, both on and off the track, have shown us all that greatness is not just about talent. It is about resilience, focus, and an unwavering belief in one's own potential. Today, Kirani takes another bold step forward. By receiving an honorary doctorate, he is sending a powerful message to the youth of Grenada and the Caribbean that no matter the obstacles you face, great things can be achieved. Kirani's accomplishments are a beacon of hope for those who dare to dream big and work relentlessly towards their goals. As we celebrate Kirani today, we also take a moment to reflect on the institution that recognized Kirani's pursuits and honors his achievements, the University of the West Indies. Founded in 1948, UWI has been a pillar of Caribbean education, uniting us as a region, fostering intellectual growth, and ensuring that the Caribbean continues to make its mark on the world. What began as a small university has grown into an institution of great renown, a unifier of the Caribbean, and an incubator for future leaders in all fields. The University of the West Indies has remained a steadfast supporter of Caribbean youth, and the importance of education in building our future cannot be overstated. As we celebrate Kirani's success today, we must also recognize the importance of giving back to this institution. I encourage all of you, particularly our alumni, to become more involved with the UWI. It is our collective responsibility to ensure that, like Kirani, the next generation of Caribbean leaders is equipped with the tools they need to succeed. Kirani, I have no doubt that you will continue to inspire and lead by example, just as you have throughout your remarkable career. Your journey is far from over, and I know that your future holds even greater achievements. As you stand before us today, an inspiration to us all, I extend to you my heartfelt congratulations and best wishes for the future. May your continued success be an example to our youth, a reminder that no dream is too big, no challenge too great, and no goal too far to reach. Let us draw inspiration from Dr. Kirani James for his ability to overcome all odds, his tenacity, his vision, and his humble commitment to excellence. Let us also recommit ourselves to the University of the West Indies and to the future of our region. God bless you, Kirani, and God bless Grenada and the Caribbean. I thank you.
Thank you, Dame Cecile, for those inspiring words. And I'm telling you that Dame Cecile is very sincere in all that she has said. She's at every sports meet you can think of in the Kirani James Stadium. Every time I go to a sport meet, she's there, supporting very much the performances of our athletes. She also danced at or welcoming home of our athletes and followed all through Goa with all of the traffic jam and motorcade. So when Dame Cecile speaks, she speaks from a very sincere position. Now we come to the presentation of gifts. And I would like to invite Dr. Francis Severin to present a gift to Dr. Kirani James. Thank you, Dr. Severin. No, Kirani, before you sit, well, you've sat already, but I'd like to invite Dame Cecile Lagrenard to present a gift to Dr. Kirani James. Thank you, Dame Cecile. I now invite Dr. Nicole Phillip to present a gift to Dame Cecile Lagrenard, our Governor General. I know it's a surprise. It was meant to be. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I invite Mrs. Keisha Kamajong Branch to the podium.
Thank you, Bunny. I now call on Dame Cecile Lagrenard to raise the toast for the evening. They're coming.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as the curtains go down on the official part of this ceremony, it is my pleasure to invite Mrs. Keisha Kamajong Branch, acting head of site of the UE Campus Grenada, to do the vote of thanks, or thank you as you might see it on the program.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Happy New Year to everyone. This evening, I am tasked with the responsibility to move a vote of thanks to everyone who made it here this evening. To Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagrenard, Governor General of Grenada, I express sincere gratitude to you for hosting this significant celebration under your patronage. You are truly graceful and unwavering in your service for country. I say this to emphasize your dedication to your official role to the country that goes beyond duty. Your commitment is one that is genuine. On behalf of the University of the West Indies, we thank you, Your Excellency. To Honorable Andy Williams, Prime Minister Acting, we thank you for your remarks and joining us to honor our honorary recipient on behalf of Prime Minister Honorable Tikon Mitchell. We all share the sentiments you expressed about our esteemed honorary, and we loved your rendition of the song. Thank you to the President of the Senate, Honorable Decima Williams, members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the Judiciary, our other senior government officials, and we are honored to have you here with us this evening. I thank Father Marcin Rumek, parish priest of the Blessed Sacrament Roman Catholic Church, who asked God to cover our event under the divine power, and Miss Alicia Lett, who sang the anthem so beautifully. To our Pro-Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University of the West Indies Global Campus, Dr. Severin, your presence here today acknowledges your commitment and support to the UE, and specifically Global Campus Grenada. We thank you for taking the time to be here to endorse the significance of this event and for all of your remarks. Our distinguished guest, our honorary recipient of the Doctor of Laws degree, on behalf of the University of the West Indies, we thank you for first accepting the honor and for being here today to celebrate with us. I know we sort of hijacked your Christmas vacation, but we thank you. You are truly loved, appreciated, held in high regard. Held in high regard by your country. I saw this while planning this event. Everyone we called, there was no, let me think about it. No, there was no let me think about it. There was, okay, no problem. For who? Oh yes, I am on board. So I remember when you won the first time, and there was chills all over my body. But in planning this, you said one word today and it resonated because that's how I felt. I felt the collective from everyone who share the love that they have for you. It's really, really great to experience. The level of support received from everyone during the process of organizing this event was outstanding, and we are honored to honor you for the impact you have made as an athlete, for yourself, for your family, your friends, and for your country. Thank you so very much, Dr. James. To Dr. Nicole Phillip, Deputy Director Acting of the UE Global Campus Sites, I thank you for your warm welcome extended to everyone here this evening. Thank you so much, Dr. Phillip. To Mr. Wilfon Granger, the Chief Experience Officer at Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited, I say a special thank you for the bank's continued support and partnership with the UE Global Campus, and for joining us to celebrate your brand ambassador. There is never any hesitation when we call on Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited. I know you must be very, very proud. A special mention must be made to Blue Bubbles. I'm going to list them because those are some of the people who just said yes. Blue Bubbles PA Rental and Event Supplies, Wagiti, George F. Huggins and Company, Grenada Limited, Bryden and Miners, Clark's Court, Carib Breweries, Grenada, Westerhall Estate Limited, Coca-Cola, Grenada Bottling, Dwayne Thomas, the photographer, Unique Photography, Mr. Damon Dubois, and Mr. Damani Breeson for their sponsorship in kind. You have demonstrated what Dr. Kirani James means to you. To the staff at Her Excellency's office and residence, it was indeed a pleasure working with you to successfully pull off this event. You are resourceful, dependable, and truly wonderful. I thank you and the Office of the Governor General immensely on behalf of the University of the West Indies Global Campus. To the staff and students and alumni of the UWI Global Campus and UWI by extension, the Athletics Association and the Olympic Committee, Mr. Bernard Wilson, I never knew you could sing like that. We thank you. To the family of Dr. Kirani James and other specially invited guests, we say thank you for joining us today, the Royal Grenada Police Force and the band, members of the media, Mr. Alexander, that panelist you met outside. You have shown your support and we thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, do enjoy the rest of the evening.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for, please let the festivities begin. You may eat, drink, and be merry. Let's celebrate our brother, friend, mentor, Dr. Kirani James. Thank you.